phones. You're not selling anything.
The Fed's not done, and I'm going to tell you why.
Welcome back to Sean's show. We are on episode 53. So thanks for joining. If you're a new listener, hello. If you're an old listener, hi. Thank you for always supporting me and my dream of being a broadcaster. I am trying to say like and much less now. So thank you. I'm back on the sauce. I'm drinking coffee again. I quit coffee for 3 months. And I just relapsed. You are actually witnessing a relapse. Like I actually am relapsing right now. I bought a Stumptown Nitro cold brew. And let's get fucked up, man. Fuck it. Life is short. You know, it really is. Life's too short to not drink coffee. And I feel creatively inspired. I don't know what it is about me. Maybe it's my biology. Maybe it's genetic. Maybe I'm mentally ill. But I need to have 500 milligrams of caffeine coursing through my fucking veins for me to say anything interesting. I'm sorry. If you've been listening and you think that the episodes have been like a little bit muted, it's about to change. Okay. I'm back on the sauce. We're going to talk some shit. You know, I might even say the R word. I actually did that so without coffee anyway. But the point is, we're going to have some fun. A lot of stuff in the news this week. So we got a lot to cover. Please ask me a question in my Facebook group if you want to engage with the show, facebook.com/group/Sean Show. I'd love to have you. Every time someone joins the Facebook group, I pull the gun out of my mouth. So you're actually saving a life by joining the Facebook group. But thanks for listening. I don't know where to start, guys. We got lots of news, lots of good news. Lots of good news for the haters of big technology. Let's get into it, dude. Google, everyone's favorite monopoly, was finally ruled as a monopoly by a judge. And it's too little too late. You know, I've been bitching about this. I've been bitching about this since I started the show. I was bitching about Google being a monopoly in the fucking late 2000s, the late aughts. I was bitching about this. And a judge finally ruled that Google's a monopoly and that it illegally maintains a monopoly over internet search. And I don't know, I'm happy. It's too little too late. Like it always is with the law. They're behind. It's just a win for Google. Every time. This is something I've wanted for years. I mean, I've literally been calling for, if you've listened to the show, you know, I've been calling for the DOJ to rule these companies as monopolies for fucking years. And this should make me feel very happy. Like this is the news article I've been waiting for years, but I don't feel anything. I really don't. I don't feel anything. I feel empty. I really do. I feel like it doesn't matter. I feel like it's too late. I actually feel angry. It's like getting that promotion that you've wanted for years, and then you finally get it. You finally get the Rolex. You finally get the promotion, or you finally retire. You get that thing you've wanted for years. You've been waiting for that thing for years. You finally come out to your family that you love sucking cock. But by the time you actually do it, everyone knows. Everyone already knows that you're gay. Everyone already knows that you deserved that promotion 5 years ago. Everyone already knows that you should have retired a decade ago. So when it finally happens, it's a Pyrrhic victory. You ever heard that term before? It's a victory, but it's a bittersweet victory. And this victory over Google feels very bittersweet because it's just Google already ruined the whole world. This is like sentencing Hitler to death after the Holocaust. Kill Hitler before the Holocaust happens. Like that's what this Google ruling feels like. You know what this ruling feels like? Google being ruled a monopoly in 2024. the whole, I mean, my reaction to this is no shit, retard. No fucking shit, retard. Of course they're a monopoly. I mean, Jesus Christ. Even the Google lawyers at this point are like, I don't know how we made it this far. Literally, like the judge ruling this, these fucking big law lawyers that work at one of these big law firms in Manhattan, lobbying on behalf of Google, making billing Google millions and millions of dollars a year. When this ruling finally happened, you know what they did? They went out to dinner at like a really nice Italian restaurant in New York, and they're having dinner and they're drinking wine. They're like, "Can you fucking believe we delayed this to this point?" Like they're laughing. They're smoking cigars and they're laughing because this is a win for Google. They delayed this fucking ruling for a decade. I mean, Google's been a monopoly for literally a decade. You know how I know Google's a monopoly? Is that they have a project. Look this up. This is kind of a deep cut. Look this up. Google has a project. It's called Google Moonshot X. And I know about this because I wanted to work there at one point in my life. But Google Moonshot X is literally a tax write-off for Google to invest in like random spyware bullshit technologies, rocket ships, weather balloons, labor camps, robots. You know, like it's literally, it's like, here's an article from earlier this year. Google's moonshot factory falls back down to earth. Again, this is a business that is supposed to make revenue off of selling ad space on Google search. And they are so rich and they're so powerful that they have a business unit where literally all they do is invest in robots. They're working on hardware. They're working on the most, I mean, listen to this. This is how I know Google's a monopoly. They have a project at Google called Project Loon. Listen to this. It's a network of high-altitude balloons that would beam internet to remote locales, creating educational and economic opportunities for previously disconnected communities. So Google's making weather balloons. They're making weather balloons for Africa. That's not a company that has any type of real competition. You think Google would be working on fucking weather balloons if they had any real type of competition in the search market? No. How is Google simultaneously laying off people at the business and investing in insane, retarded projects like weather balloons for Africa? It's insanity. And so what they've done is they've actually curtailed this business unit, I believe is what this article is saying. This article is about the rise, Google's moonshot factory falls back down to earth. So my point of bringing that up is that Google has all these insane CEO fucking pet projects. And it's literally a tax write-off for them because they don't have anything else to do. They're literally bored. Like Google is so successful, it's literally bored. Do you know anyone? Have you met people that work at Google? They work 2 hours a week and they just jack off to hentai all day. That's literally what they do. They work 2 hours a week. They send out an email. They have pronouns in their bio, and which is fine. And they go to a working lunch every quarter with their boss, and they're running marathons. They're like in running clubs. They're doing runs at like 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. This is a company that is a monopoly. That's all the evidence you needed to prove that Google was a monopoly existed a decade ago. So let's look at this article. Google enjoys an 89.2% market for general search services, which increases to 94% on mobile devices. So Google has 94% of the search market on mobile devices. That is not a free market. That is called an illegal monopoly. Did you know this? Did you know Google pays Apple something like $20 billion a year to be the default search engine on iPhones? Listen to this shit. Google paid Apple $20 billion in 2022, doubling from 2020. The judge also noted that Apple has periodically considered building its own search technology, but backed off that after a 2018 analysis estimated that the company would lose $12 billion in revenue during the first 5 years after a breakup with Google. So basically, Google is paying Apple to not innovate. And who gets robbed? You do. We do. We all get robbed. And that's why Google search fucking sucks. That's why you have to type Reddit at the end of every post you make. Every time I search Google, I have to type Reddit to get any sort of actual information because it's just clouded by fucking bullshit. It's clouded and by SEO shit. Like I was searching for, you search for an Italian restaurant on Google, you just get dunked on. You just get the worst advertisements for like the shittiest restaurants, and you can't find anything. You really just can't find anything. So I'm glad that this ruling finally happened, but I'm just like, it's too little too late, buddy. I'm already gonna kill myself. Like that's all I have to say about it. Like it's like, you know, this will probably go to the Supreme Court. So we'll see what happens. But it's just too late. This is an example of lobbying, and this is something I've said before, but it's an example of how Citizens United, and let me abstract this. This is why I'm not voting. Google being ruled a monopoly in 2024 is one of the main reasons that I'm not voting for I'm not voting in the 2024 elections. You want to know why? Because can Kamala Harris talk about Citizens United? I don't give a fuck about coconut trees. I don't care about being Walz-pilled. I don't care about Tim Walz. Okay? I care about Citizens fucking United. I care about lobbyists ruining this fucking country. Can Kamala Harris go on social media and just talk about Citizens United, please? Can she be like, it's giving lobbying. It's giving. She like laughs. Why is Kamala Harris's entire campaign laughing at us? Like she's so unserious. Why is the Kamala Harris political campaign so unserious? Bitch, our country's falling apart. And you're laughing. You're laughing with a $50,000 necklace on. You're asking for money from millennials who have nothing while you're wearing a $50,000 necklace. And you're laughing. And you're talking about coconuts. And you want me to donate to your campaign. Talk about the real shit. Kamala, I've never voted. Kamala, I would vote for you. I would vote for Kamala Harris if she just said the magic words. If she just said that we are going to tackle lobbying. And let me be fair. Maybe she's actually said this. I'm going to look it up. Kamala Harris lobbying. Corporate lobbying. Policy. Let's find out. I'm going to Google it. And that's exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. You can't even find out what the political positions are because Google has a monopoly. Literally, it's such a you realize how fucked up the world we live in is? It's so fucked up. I want to find out how these candidates feel about certain political issues. And in order for me to find that information, I have to use the business that I want to be destroyed, that I want to be broken up. You think Google is going to let me find that information? Let's find out. Let's take a look at this. This is an article from July. K Street, if you don't know, K Street stands for, K Street obviously stands for the lobbying. It's like Wall Street. K Street is for lobbyists in Washington, D.C. Let's take a look at how Kamala Harris feels about lobbying. Vice President Kamala Harris has forsworn direct donations from lobbyists, but they're welcoming her candidacy and finding other ways to support it. Okay. Officials at some of the biggest lobbying firms have endorsed her presidential campaign and are raising money for it, using loopholes to get around the campaign's policy of not accepting donations from lobbyists. So I don't know. I mean, I literally, that's not even what the information that I wanted. Let me just look up Kamala Harris, Citizens United. And again, I'm not going to pretend that getting rid of Citizens United is some sort of like silver bullet for like helping helping our country get back on track, but it'd be a step in the right fucking direction. I mean, I literally can't find anything about it. Let's see. I mean, I don't know. Here's something she posted in 2018. Again, I'm doing a deep dive on this, but I have a point here. Thanks to Citizens, here's a post from 2018. Thanks to Citizens United, money has tipped the balance from individuals having power in elections to corporations. That's why, rather than accepting donations from corporate PACs, I'm funding my campaign with the support of people like you. Okay, that was from 2018. Let's see if Kamala has a super PAC now. I'm getting really political. I mean, she literally started a super PAC 6 years later. Kamala Harris's super PAC launches first campaign ad targeting Trump over Roe v. Wade. So she literally said in 2018, and this is what's fucked up about politics. She said, and she lied. Obviously, she lied. And the same is true for the right. Like, I know I've been focusing on the left a lot. The right is just as retarded. But like, the left is supposed to be the party that fights big corporations. And it's gotten twisted. It's twisted, and it's become a party that's focused on neither party cares about the issues that are actually going to help reform American politics. She said in 2018 that she doesn't want to do a corporate super PAC. And in 2024, she has a fucking super PAC. So she's taking money from corporations. I think. I don't know. I could be bullshitting. I could be talking out of my ass here. But the point is, neither side gives a shit about fighting against Citizens United. Neither country, they might as well be different countries at this point, but neither politician gives a shit about getting corporate money out of politics and getting rid of lobbying and corruption in the government. And that's why I'm not fucking voting. Kamala cares more about the culture war. Kamala Harris, both sides just care more about the culture war than they care about the things that are going to make life better for the average American. That's true. Both sides don't give a shit about you. You know what? I would rather live in a world where I send my kid to preschool and he learns about all the different pronouns and non-binary. Like, I'd rather live in a world where we have free and fair elections and free markets where Google doesn't own 90% of the search market and is doing all this fucked up bullshit, colluding. Google and Apple literally collude. It's illegal. It's a crime to collude in a market like that. And they're literally criminals. Like, Google's literally committing a crime, and these politicians don't give a fuck because they need these companies to help them get elected. But like, I'd literally rather live in a country where Google has to actually compete for my business. And I send my kid to like the trans, like, and my kid goes and gets taught trans. Is it trans? I'd rather live in a world where we didn't have lobbying, but my kid is trans, than live in a world where, you know, my kid is in a normal, whatever, a public school where they learn math, but like I'm never going to be able to own a house and Google owns all my fucking data. That's what I want. I don't want big tech to win. It's more important to me that big tech loses than my kid not being influenced by leftist ideology. I don't give a fuck. Because if my kid is retarded enough to get influenced by the left or right ideology, that's their own fucking fault, okay? Have some critical thinking skills. So that's that. I think I focused too much time on that. Let's move on. The point is, it's hopeless. Kamala Harris chose Tim Walz. Are you Walz-pilled? I'm Walz-pilled. You know what's funny about it is, like, if you don't know, Kamala just chose Tim Walz, which was the ex-governor of Minnesota, to be her vice presidential pick. People like him. I'm hearing that people like him. I don't know a lot about the guy. He seems cool, but everyone is kind of praising a lot of people are praising Kamala's campaign for being digital first. And I don't know about you, that makes me want to commit suicide. Any like, literally, I literally, like, the way that language is moving in the world makes me want to commit suicide. It makes me want to put a rope around my neck and jump off a bridge. It makes me want to tie a rope tightly around my neck, go to the Brooklyn Bridge, tie that rope to the steel, the Chinese steel. Here's what I want. Whenever I see the way that language is moving, I want to tie a rope, a noose around my neck, tie the other side of that rope to the Chinese steel that was used to make the Brooklyn Bridge. I don't know. That could be wrong. Then I want to stand on the steel on the Brooklyn Bridge, and I want to question my entire life. And I'm going to ask myself, should I really, is this it? Is this the moment where I end it all? Is the infinite oblivion better than enduring life at this point? And then someone's going to come up to me and they're going to be like, wait, don't jump. Didn't you hear Kamala Harris's campaign is digital first? And that's when I would jump. That's when I'd fucking jump. And they try to catch me. I'd push them. I'd push them away. I go, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that Kamala's campaign's digital first. That's it. But it is. And I'm telling you, please don't commit suicide, because I'm telling you, don't shoot the messenger. Kamala's campaign's digital first. She's digitally native. The left is young. They're hot. They're smart. They're gay. The Republicans are old and fat and slow and retarded. Kamala's campaign is digital first. She knows about memes. Everyone's pilled. Everyone's Walz-pilled. They're coconut pilled. Can we stop? Can we stop with the like clever rhetoric that's like, it just comes off as so unserious. Don't you know, like, it's not cute. Here's a message for Kamala's campaign. Can you stop being so fucking cute? Can you fucking take this shit seriously? No one is Walz-pilled. No one is coconut pilled. People are starving. They're addicted to fentanyl. They're snorting Adderall. They need to work 3 jobs to pay their bills. Their rent is 110% of the income that's coming in every month. They don't have health care. They have lumps. There's the young people, we have lumps on our back. Our blood has microplastics are in our fucking blood, coursing through our blood. And Kamala's answer to that is that we should all become coconut pilled. We should become coconut pilled. Kamala, I don't know how to get government health care. I'm in New York. I don't know how to subscribe to get government health care. That's partially because I'm an idiot, but it's partially because the infrastructure in this country is so bad and it's so broken. And your solution to that is that I should become coconut pilled. I'm not going to become coconut pilled. I don't even like coconuts that much. It's fine. I don't know if it's the basis for a political campaign to become Walz-pilled. God. And the right is just as bad. JD Vance wants to have 10,000 children. What the fuck is going on? I encourage people to go back and look at presidential debates from past elections. Go to like 2004, go to the 2000, go to 1996 and watch these presidential debates. People are sitting down and they're having civil discussions. They're having we really lost the plot, guys. We really lost the fucking plot with our country. It's sad. It's very scary. If you go to these past elections, people paid attention to what these assholes said. They were just as evil. Don't get me wrong. Politicians sucked just as much in the 90s. But at least people pretended to care about what these politicians said. You know what I mean? Like, if a politician made a good point about healthcare, that was the headline. You know what I mean? Like that was important. Like the headlines would be focused on healthcare reform, economic reform, foreign policy. They would talk about policies in the Middle East. Like it was just different. And now you have this rhetoric where it's just the left is calling JD Vance and Trump weird. You know who's weird? You're all weird. You know who's weird? Everyone that wants to be a politician. You're all fucking weird. Let's get one thing clear. Everyone in politics is weird. Don't think you can dance around this, Kamala. You can't go on stage and with Tim Walz to be like, it's JD Vance is giving weird. Like, no, bitch, you're weird too. You're all weird. You're all weird. Anyone who covets power like that is fucking weird. Anyone who wants to and lie to the people like that and lie to their faces about super PACs, and covering shit up, trying to create this brand around yourself, that's what's fucking weird. You know what's weird? Thinking that you have what it takes to lead America. Anyone that wants to step up to the plate like that is a sociopath. You're a narcissist. And you know and the only people weirder than the politicians themselves are the celebrities that endorse these politicians. How could you call, even musicians, how can you call yourself a fucking artist when you endorse a politician? That is really, really embarrassing to me. Do you guys like the show when I drink coffee or not? I feel like this is a very different show when I'm caffeinated. But let me know. I can quit coffee again if this is too abrasive. But I don't know. There's not much else to say there. Let's move on. Mr. Beast. Do you guys like Mr. Beast? He's a weird guy. Talk about a weird guy. Mr. Beast is fucking weird, dude. Mr. Beast is catching a lot of heat because there was, I guess, Ava Smart. What was Ava's? There was a person in Mr. Beast's circle, Ava Chris, I guess. Ava Chris Tyson was a person that Mr. Beast collaborated with, and I guess there are allegations that Ava was accused of grooming, which a lot of people got are not a fan of that, and that's something that has been a lot of blowback for Mr. Beast. I'm not sure if you're following this story, but it's it really is just a matter of time before, when you get big enough as a personality, you're gonna have bad press. You are. To me, I think this is the wrong focus. I think the focus should be on Mr. Beast himself abusing people. I mean, that broke. So basically, if you're not if you're not following it, Mr. Beast, that story broke about Ava in Mr. Beast's circle, sort of grooming people. And then another story came out shortly thereafter about how some contestants were being treated on set with Mr. Beast. And that to me is the real story. The real story is Mr. Beast abusing people that do his show, the contestants of his games. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Mr. Beast. I love the videos. I mean, I'll keep it real, guys. Like, to me, Mr. Beast is almost like a Michael Jackson character, where the music is just so good that you almost have to look past the molesting. I'm just being not that I condone it. It's horrible. But like, I feel like that's how the public sees it. Like, he's just so big that it's almost like unstoppable. Like if you go to his most recent video, it got the most dislikes ever. And people are obviously frustrated about Mr. Beast and his behavior and the way he treats people. But again, I think he's just going to push through this. Like, I don't think there's really any stopping this. You know, he's a candy bar entrepreneur. Mr. Beast is insane. He has Feastables. He has like a candy, like, you know, a lot of people say that Mr. Beast is just a lottery entrepreneur that like targets kids and gets kids to gamble. And that to me is hilarious. I mean, he's kind of like a evil Willy Wonka. He's like a dark Willy Wonka. You know? He recruits young people to like do these challenges, these like death-defying challenges. And if they win, they get all this money. He really is like an evil Willy Wonka. He's like the Waluigi. He's like Waluigi. Why does Mr. Beast feel like Waluigi to me? Like, he's just got like a tennis racket and he goes, wah! He just like runs around. He just runs around to different sets and like, you know, whacks people. But I want to read you this this article about Mr. Beast that I thought was crazy. So let's take a look. He's getting a lot of heat. So here's an article from just a few days ago. Contestants of Mr. Beast's Amazon show allege unsafe conditions during filming. Participants accuse the production of being mismanaged and cruel. Also, his teeth are gross. His teeth are bad. Like, I'm looking at this photo of his teeth. He needs to go to the dentist. That's the story shouldn't be about him abusing anyone. It should be about his teeth. His teeth are gross. The start of August, excuse me. The start of August has not been great for Jimmy Donaldson, aka Mr. Beast, as several participants from his upcoming Amazon MGM Studios game show Beast Games have accused the YouTube star of unsafe, borderline negligent filming conditions. In a striking report from the New York Times, several contestants spoke with the outlet about the severe mismanagement of the show's production. These allegations include statements about the lack of food provided, inadequate medical care, and physical injuries contestants suffered competing in tasks for the show. So that's not good. It's, I don't know. I feel like the conditions, they don't sound good. I mean, this sounds like some North Korea shit. Listen to this. Meals were described as tiny, with staff serving cold oatmeal, raw veggies, and hard-boiled eggs to participants. The only other type of food contestants were given was Mr. Beast branded Feastable chocolate bars. Medicine that was handed over to staff was hard to get back promptly, with one participant claiming to have gone days without needed insulin. See, at that point, I kind of blame you. Like, I kind of blame you for trusting Mr. Beast to give you your insulin. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. Is this fucked up? I'm just saying. Like, if you're gonna go on a show where you know that Mr. Beast is, he literally did Squid Games. You're gonna go on a show where the guy like saw the show. Like, Mr. Beast is a guy. Here's how fucking insane Mr. Beast is. At this point, if you do a Mr. Beast like competition and then you complain about being abused, it's your own fault. You want to know why? Mr. Beast saw the Netflix show Squid Games and he saw that and he was like, I love that. He saw the show Squid Games where people are shot with a machine gun and they fall 200 feet to their death. And they stab and they shoot and they kill each other. He saw that and he was inspired by that to create a version of that in real life. The guy, Mr. Beast, made Squid Games in real life, and that's a guy that you trust to give you insulin when you need it. You're smoking crack. I'm sorry, but I kind of don't have a lot of sympathy for you because Mr. Beast is just gonna be that guy. You kind of have to expect Mr. Beast to be that guy. Several of the complaints given to the New York Times include sleep deprivation due to having film at night and having to sleep on the turf of the sun-soaked Las Vegas stadium during the day. Women who competed during the event also alleged sexism that caused them to not get underwear while menstruating because menstruation was said to be, quote, not a medical emergency. Ugh. Ugh. I mean, this is bad. He's catching a lot of heat. And as far as I know, he has not endorsed a political candidate yet. How about this? I'll vote for whoever Mr. Beast endorses. I'm just waiting for Mr. Beast to endorse a political candidate, and then that's who I'm going to vote for. Like, that's literally what I feel like. How about this? Here's what I would do to change American politics for the better. We should get Kamala Harris, J.D. Vance, Donald Trump, and Tim Walz, and we put them in a Mr. Beast competition where they all have to stand in a little patch of grass for 24 hours. And the last politician standing gets to be the president. How about that? At that point, I feel like that's the type of competition we need. Because, and you're allowed to have stimulants, like they can do whatever kind of drugs they want before the competition. I want to see a Mr. Beast competition where all the politicians that are running for president, they have to do a Mr. Beast competition. And I want Mr. Beast throughout the competition to go up to these political candidates. And I want him to be like, hey, I know that you're really competing. I know you want to be president, but guess what? I have a special offer for you. If you drop out of the race right now, I have a bus full of kids and you can take all their adrenochrome. You can inject all their adrenochrome into your bloodstream right now if you just drop out of the race. What do you say, J.D. Vance? Hey, J.D. Vance, you've been standing on this plot of little tiny grass and I know your legs hurt and I know you want to be president, but I'll give you an offer right now. You can go to Epstein's Island. We restarted Epstein. I bought Epstein's Island. And you can go to Epstein's new island and you can do whatever you want there. No one's going to look at you. No one's going to tell on you if you just step off that patch of grass right now. What do you say, J.D. Vance? That's what we need. We need a competition like that to really test the mettle of these candidates. Is that crazy? I feel like we need that. JD Vance is fucking crazy. JD Vance is fucking insane. Why does JD Vance want everyone to fuck so bad? Dude, fucking mind your own business. Like, that is where JD Vance is weird. Why does JD Vance want everyone to fuck and have kids? You're weird, bro. That is weird. Like, not to lean into like what the left is saying about them, but like JD Vance wanting women to be pregnant constantly, bro. We're not in the 1950s anymore, bro. You're fucking weird. That is weird. Can you mind your own business, please? Like, I don't know. That is weird to me. Let's move on. I don't know, guys. How do you feel about Mr. Beast? Do you like him? Do you not like him? Let me know. Let me know if you do in the comments. So I have some questions from Mr. William. William, I love you, dude. Thank you for, at this point, this show is just for William, dude. I owe William my life, dude. Thanks. You have, William, I have 10 questions. We're going to go rapid fire just because I have other news stories I want to get to. But William, thank you for your questions. I love you, dude. Let's do it. By the way, if you want to ask me some questions, go to facebook.com/groups/Sean Show. It would really mean a lot. You know, I want to build a community around what I'm doing because when World War III happens, I want us all to be able to meet up so that like we can all start like a community in the apocalypse. And that way, when you guys eventually turn on me and eat my flesh, I'll take solace in the fact that you guys listen to my podcast as you're eating my legs and face. What is my biggest accomplishment in life? From William. You know, William, that's a good question, man. I really feel like my life is, there's just so many, you know, there's just so many huge things that I've accomplished in my life that I really can't choose between them. You know, I would say that like probably one of the main ones is finding a good Mexican restaurant in New York, because New York is not known for their Mexican food. So I found a very delicious Mexican restaurant in Brooklyn. That's probably my biggest accomplishment. No, you want to know what it is? My biggest accomplishment is walking away from Wall Street, bro. Literally every day I wake, literally I'm just, not to suck my own dick. That's actually my biggest accomplishment, sucking my own cock. I've done that a few times. That's not easy. No, I've never done that. Let me put that on the record. I've never done that. Just like Mr. Beast has never abused someone on set. I've never sucked my own dick. Mr. Beast has never abused anyone on set. Kamala Harris is not crazy. No, my biggest accomplishment, dude, is waking up every day and continuing to not take a job on Wall Street. I am literally, I'll just keep it real, dude. I live in one of the most expensive cities in America. I'm supporting myself, my girlfriend, and our dog on a video editing salary and a salary of videography going on the road with other comics. And it's tough, dude. I make it happen. But every day I wake up and I turn down basically a $400,000 a year salary. I turn that down every day, and it makes me want to kill myself. So that's my biggest strength, dude. So that's why you gotta like fucking subscribe to the fucking Facebook group, guys, because the temptations are getting stronger. I really am trying to not get a day job. But at a certain point, guys, if you don't join the Facebook group, I'm gonna have to go start a private prison. Like literally, if you don't join the Facebook group, I will start a private prison. And then when you're a white trash, not you, William, but everyone else who listens, when your white trash ass eventually gets convicted of a crime and goes to prison, you're gonna find out that Sean Riley owns that prison. And then you're gonna think to yourself, well, you're getting gang raped in prison. I should have just joined the Facebook group. I should have just joined facebook.com/groups/Sean Show and engaged with Sean Show, the podcast. And now I push Sean into buying a private prison where the conditions are horrible and he doesn't feed me every day. That's really your options. You can either be a criminal that listens to my show, or you can be a convicted criminal that goes to jail in a prison that I own. And that is a threat. Number 2 from William. What is my biggest regret in life? Fuck, man, don't make me go there. My biggest regret in life is not dropping out of college. Honestly, bro, my biggest regret is not dropping out of college when I knew that was inside of me. I felt like multiple times that like I wanted to drop out and I wanted to give up on engineering. But I pushed through the degree because I told myself that I wanted to finish what I started. And I felt, and like, and some, like, dude, really, like, my, like, that I told myself when I was in college that, like, there was some sort of nobility and honor in finishing something that I woke up every day fucking hating. I was literally depressed for 3 years of my life doing aerospace engineering and math, double majoring in aerospace engineering and math, and doing finance coursework. I was all over the place, dude, but I hated my life. But I finished it because that's what men do. And I should have just listened to my gut because, again, my parents are landlords, which makes me a land prince. But I didn't need it. I didn't need it. Like, I could have quit, moved to LA earlier, moved to New York earlier, and I could have been 3 years ahead in my creative journey as an artist. That is my biggest regret, man. So there's not a whole lot of comedy in that. And my second biggest regret is turning down that job at Raytheon, where I could have made $300K a year bombing brown kids. You know? That's my second biggest regret. And my third biggest regret is quitting coffee. I should have just kept drinking it. That just got sad. All right. Jake Paul or Mike Tyson? I mean, that's an easy one, bro. Mike Tyson, dude. The brothers Paul are just fuck boys, dude. I mean, you know, this, and by the way, let me make it clear. This podcast, we're very anti-fuck boy. We're very, very anti-fuck boy. The best outcome for me is that Jake Paul ends up in a labor camp. I don't know if Jake Paul is Jewish, and if he is, I'm sorry, this has nothing to do with his religion. I would put Logan Paul and Jake Paul in a labor camp. I want to see Jake Paul and Logan Paul smash large rocks into tiny rocks. I want them to be malnourished, and I want them to smash large rocks into tiny rocks. And I want them to say, let's fucking go, as they do it. Yo, let's fucking go, dude. And I want them to smash with their weak ass arms. They're cultural poison. Jake Paul and Logan Paul, and I know I'm cultural poison too, but at least I'm kind of cool. Am I not? I don't know. Maybe I'm uncool. But Jake Paul and like, he's a fucking just a big fucking tool. They're just and you know, whatever. Everyone thinks this. Those guys are fucking tools. They're like the male version of the Kardashians. They're just stunts. All they do is they do these stunts. Mr. Beast, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, these guys do stunts for views on the internet. And it's like, you know, do I think they're marketing geniuses? Absolutely. Do I think they think about, you know, if you tried to talk to Jake Paul about Citizens United, I think he'd just be like, yo, dude, let's fucking go, dude. Like, if you're like Jake Paul, like, hey Jake, like, what do you think about like corporate influences in elections, and like, you know, how that affects, and super PACs, how do these things have, I don't know, maybe he's a smart guy. I don't know. Maybe I'm not giving them enough credit. They are very good, successful business people. I have a lot of respect for them. Would I like to see them gassed in a all right, that was a little far. I don't know what's legal. I don't know if I can make death threats on people. That's probably illegal. Let's move on. I'd love to have them on the show someday. Number 4 from William. What do you think the worst job ever would be? Being a comedy podcaster. No, I'm kidding. The worst job ever, dude, is being a politician. It really is. Being a politician is waking up and being burdened by lies and having to craft a brand for yourself. And be a snake and looking in the mirror every day and seeing a snake and understanding and lying to yourself that like, oh, well, I'm a snake, but at least I'm not as snakish as my opponent. That is the worst job, dude. I don't think there's a single politician out there that is happy with who they are. I think they are all broken. I think they're all shattered. And it's probably the worst job. And the second worst job, I would say, is Chipotle server. I think those people get abused, bro. As someone who abuses Chipotle workers when I go, I would not want to be them. What's the number one thing I miss the most about Austin or Texas? You know, man, it's a tough question, dude. I mean, New York is just such a metropolitan city. Honestly, dude, I miss how cheap it was. Austin, Texas was a cheap city. And you know, that's really the one main advantage of being an artist in Austin is that you can you know, you can live for very cheap. You know, you can get an apartment for $800-900 if you want to live frugally. You know, that's the main advantage. It's really cheap, and there's, you know, sort of there, you know, again, Austin is, some people are lazy there, but there is a hustle culture that is developing there, which I think is very cool. And you know, there's a lot of cool artists out there. But yeah, man, it was just so cheap. So cheap. So it allowed me to, like, you know, go on the road and hit the road and to be an artist without having to worry that much about money. So that's definitely the one thing I miss, dude. What's the one thing I hated the most about Austin? Number 6 that you asked. I don't know, man. Honestly, bro, if I'm being totally real, a lot of people in Austin, I feel like, at least in comedy, and this is just for comedy, I feel like there's some laziness there. I feel like a lot of guys in Austin, they like to do coke and they like to stay out all night. And maybe I'm a loser. And that's not to say that there aren't people in New York that are lazy, but like, maybe my lifestyle is the wrong way to live my life. Like I'm just so ruthlessly focused on creating and trying to build a career in this that, like, I felt held back by Austin. Sometimes I felt like a lot of people, like, wanted to take it slower than me. And maybe that makes me the guy, maybe that makes me the outcast and the psycho, and maybe my strategy is the wrong one. But like, I am really committed to this shit. And when in Austin, I kind of felt like an outcast in that way. So that was the main thing. And I don't know, the other thing I hated the most about Austin is that Greg Abbott was in a wheelchair. I don't look up to people that can't use their legs. That's like the governor of Texas is literally in a wheelchair. Like, he can't walk. How am I going to respect a guy that can't walk around? How does that guy lead an entire state of okay. All right. Are you flying back regularly to keep up with your killing spree on Lady Bird Lake, and the move to New York is just to throw them off your trail? I am the Rainy Street Killer. And that's a lot of, I'm glad you asked this, William. A lot of people don't know that I am the Rainy Street Killer. And, you know, I would just say, William, like, at this point, I would stop asking questions. Like, I would stop asking me questions about my crimes because, you know, it may or may not be a cover up. I would look in the news. I would look in the news to see how can you connect all the murders. You'll probably notice that a lot of the guys that died in Lady Bird Lake and on Rainy Street were gay guys. So I would maybe pull on that string. And if you find you may, but I'm just saying, you may not like what you find if you pull on that string, William. So just be careful out there. What's my take on Elon Musk airing his laundry out on Twitter about his and Grimes' divorce and such? You know, dude, I mean, at this point, dude, I really just, Elon Musk is just dominating the news waves. I mean, he's just his own, like, Elon Musk is his own fucking You could have a whole magazine just dedicated to Elon Musk news at this point. It's really crazy, bro. But I don't know, man. Like Grimes, like the weird. See, the thing is, so Elon Musk and Grimes. I feel like Elon Musk has like a bunch of sister wives. Like, yeah, I know that like Elon and Grimes were like dating and very serious for a while, and they had a kid together. But it's like, dude, I don't know, man. It's. Then I read these articles about him fucking SpaceX employees. Like he had these relationships with employees at SpaceX. He just seems like a player. You know what I mean? Like he just seems like a guy that like, just doesn't, he's not monogamous. I'll tell you that much. As far as airing out his laundry about it on Twitter, I like it. I think it's very entertaining. I think it's funny that Grimes is a communist. It's funny that Grimes is like a communist and she dated. And that's the thing. It's like Grimes is a communist, but she's also a capitalist because she's a very successful artist. And she's reading like she's reading like Marxist books. Like I forgot what book she was reading, but like the Communist Manifesto. I forget which book she was reading, but like, yeah, she's like reading this shit and she's like fucking Elon Musk. And it's like the people at the height of, at that level of fame, they just don't have any morals anymore. And I think they really lose. I mean, I think it's just another day in the life, man. Like, I really think that like, you know, I think the only thing that Elon Musk knows is, I mean, he's the Kanye of tech. Elon Musk is the Kanye West of like technology entrepreneurs. All he knows is that the one thing Elon Musk believes, I don't think Elon Musk believes in anything other than any press is good press. That's really it. I mean, because it gets people. I've helped Elon Musk just as much as anyone else. You know, I talk about him every fucking day. So I think it's just good press for him, you know? And it's like, even if Elon Musk is ever accused of, has very serious allegations about like sexual assault or like harassment, you know, I think that like, here's my real take, dude. I think Elon Musk is preempting all of the shit that quote unquote allegations that could come out against him someday. And this is all just him preempting that and getting ahead of the fact that maybe shit comes out about him someday that is not that favorable. And he's going to point at this and go, yeah, but everyone knew about Grimes. Everyone knew about my relationship with Grimes. Everyone already knew. Go back and look at the articles. So that way it's not a surprise. And that's very smart of him. Like getting the smartest rapists get ahead of the allegations. God, I hope he doesn't sue me. The smartest guys that rape say they rape ahead of the people that they rape. Does that make sense? Okay. Allegedly. Okay. How many couches, speaking of rapists, how many couches do you think gave consent to JD Vance? None of them. I think these couches were they were all unconscious at the times of the assaults. Do I also, okay, this might be a crazy thing to say, but like we were all horny like all men were at some point, all men were like horny teenagers. You guys tell me you didn't like rub your dick on a couch when you were a horny teenager, you know? I'm not saying I fuck couches today, and I'm not saying I never like actually fucked a couch. You know what I mean? Maybe, and I don't know if that's what people are saying about JD Vance, but like, let's keep it fucking real, man. You didn't rub your dick on a couch when you were like 16. Come on. I'm not saying I'm not like sexually attracted to couches, and if JD Vance assaulted these couches, then we need justice. But I'm going to say 0, William, for that question. Do you think we are in store for a repeat of January 6th incident and Trump crying about the election being stolen? Bro, I really think that no matter what way you swing it, we're going to have civil unrest. I really think that. Because it's just it's a fucking, Uh, it's just a bad. It's just looking bad, man. I don't, and I know I've said this a lot, but like, I think that if Kamala wins, yeah, man, we could have another. We could have a repeat of January 6th. It may be. I don't know. It's really hard to say. I feel like it's going to be more subdued. I feel like the political climate right now is a little bit different. So I just, for some reason, I feel like it's not. I don't think that like, but it's hard to say, dude, because it's like it could really escalate because we're just so far from November. We're really far from November, so it could just really, really ramp up like it did, or it could sort of be a nothing burger. But I think anyone that knows the answer to that is lying to you. Like, but I think no matter what, man, no matter what, we can count on Mr. Beast abusing contestants on his show. Like, that's one thing that's definitely going to happen. Kamala or Trump, dude, Mr. Beast is going to deprive his contestants of insulin. And that's something we can all look forward to. Gary asks, how about you ask us questions and we answer them? Okay, Gary. It sounds like I need to raise my rate for questions. I think Gary's getting tired of asking questions every week. Here's a question for you, Gary. Who are you going to vote for, Gary? Are you going for who's Gary? I want to ask you a question, Gary, and you let me know in the Facebook group. I'll ask you a few questions. Why don't you tell me, do you like Mr. Beast? Why don't you tell me this? Do you want me to be pro Mr. Beast or anti Mr. Beast? Because I ultimately pander to you guys. Really, just William and Gary is the whole show. So, do you like Mr. Beast? Do you think Mr. Beast abuses people as bad as the press says that he is, or not? That's my question to you, Gary. Let me know. And what's a show that I should watch? I have not watched The Sopranos. My girlfriend has been telling me to watch The Sopranos. So give me a recommendation to watch a show. Maybe we could talk about that. So that's the Facebook question. Guys, thank you for asking questions. I do appreciate it. Join the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/Sean Show. I know that was kind of a long segment, but I want to have some fun. I want to make it interactive, guys. So, please join. I know I'm really pushing that on the show, but like, it's fun. I want to make it a community, guys. And again, if you ask a question, I will Venmo you $5 per question. So, don't forget that. All right, let's keep going. So speaking of Elon, again, like Elon Musk he's such a massive fucking hypocrite. And I really don't know how anyone can still support this fucking asshole. He's going to run for president someday, dude. Mark my words. Elon Musk is going to run for president someday. He's already supporting Trump. He's wading into politics very seriously. He tweets a lot about politics. He retweets a lot about the culture war. I mean, I literally think we could see Elon Musk run for president like literally 4 years from now. We're like very close to that. And it's kind of scary, but Elon Musk is actually here's something that I think is fucking crazy. Elon Musk, the libertarian, is suing an advertising coalition over the fact that these companies are boycotting. Well, they are boycotting X. And this is just another way that Elon Musk plays both sides. This guy believes nothing. He really believes nothing. Because on one day he's about free markets and he's about companies being able to do what they want. And the next day he's about the fact that one day he's against government regulation and he doesn't want the government to get involved. But the next day, when all of these companies are not choosing to advertise on X and losing X money, all of a sudden he wants government intervention. And that's, I think, ultimately what people are missing and about Elon, and they just continue to suck his fucking dick every day. So let's take a look at this article. Companies unfairly targeted the social media platform over safety standards, according to the lawsuit. So here's a quote from Elon. "We tried peace for 2 years. Now it's war. Now it's war." The boycott began in November 2022 after Musk acquired Twitter, the lawsuit said. The coalition started the boycott due to a concern that Twitter would change its content and safety standards under Musk's leadership, according to the complaint. So, the Global Alliance for Responsible Media noted that the massive economic harm imposed on Twitter by the boycott. The boycott and its effects continue to this day, despite X applying brand safety standards comparable to those of its competitors. So, again, it's like, I don't know how this guy can file a lawsuit against these brands when he literally told them all to go fuck themselves. Remember this was like a while ago. He was doing some sort of interview, and he got asked about advertisers right after he had acquired Twitter, and they said, "What do you think about all these brands that are backing out of advertising with you?" He said, "Go fuck yourself." So bro, it's like, what do you expect? What do you expect? You're going to tell all these customers to go fuck themselves? I mean, also, remember when Republicans boycotted Bud Light? You're going to say that was illegal too? You can't have it both ways, Elon Musk. You can't have it where companies are, you can't say that your businesses are allowed to do what they want without government intervention and then expect the government to intervene when other businesses that are your competitors and your customers want to do what they want. You can't have it both ways, bro. Elon Musk is, and that's what makes this guy dangerous as fuck. I don't want Elon Musk as a president. That should terrify everyone, dude. If Elon becomes president, I really might commit suicide because that's fucking crazy, dude. Because this guy plays both sides and doesn't have any soul. He's just a soulless, snakish fucking asshole. He really is. And it should scare everyone that he's able to weaponize the government when it's convenient to him, and fight the government when it's not convenient for him. But we all know that, guys. So you know, shit is heating up out there, guys. I mean, it's heating up. It's a scary world. Iran might attack Israel. Fuck, there's so much we didn't get to. The stock market crashed and then it rebounded. I mean, you know, there's so much shit going on, guys. It's a very scary time. It's a very scary time for the world. So I don't know, man. Just buy guns or not. Buy a cyanide pill, buy guns, do whatever you want. Get back, relapse. That's honestly my message this week, guys, is just a relapse. Just relapse. Just one time. Just relapse a little bit. Because if you don't, then on your deathbed, you'll be like, oh, fuck, I didn't have enough fun. So that's my message, guys. I will leave you with some closing remarks. Please join the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/Sean Show. Leave us a review on Spotify. I actually got another review this week, and I literally cried. I cried tears of joy. Follow the show on Spotify. That would help tremendously. Like the video on YouTube. Leave me a comment on YouTube. Whatever you can. Just engage with the show any way you can because it really helps me get excited about doing the show. And we're going to keep it rolling, guys. I'm on the road. If you live in Columbus, Ohio, I'm going to be headlining the Attic Comedy Club Saturday, October 19th. I'll be in San Diego Tuesday, January 28th. Tickets at seanreillycomedy.com. I'm going to be setting up some more headlining dates shortly, guys. So keep on a lookout for those. I love you if you're still listening at this point. Thanks for listening. Dear God, I love it. And have a great week. We'll see you next week. Hail Satan.